I didn't understand it then, but that moment wasn't normal. And by the time I understood why they were staring, it was already too late. I thought I was just getting ready for high school. I thought it was a fresh start, a new chapter at a prestigious boarding school far from the city. But by the time I realized that something about that place was fundamentally wrong, it was already too late. It was the end of summer, right before the start of grade 10. My parents had picked out this elite boarding school, and they were obsessed with seeing it before move-in day. Technically, the school was still on break. The gates should have been locked. But we had a contact, a staff member who arranged a private visit for us. When we arrived, the campus was beautiful, peaceful, quiet, almost too perfect. As we walked, we passed a wing of classrooms. I stopped dead. Through the glass of a door, I saw them. A classroom of students. They were sitting perfectly upright, eyes fixed forward. A teacher stood at the chalkboard, writing in total silence. I slowed down, my heart hammering. It didn't make sense. The school was on break. Why were they there? Why were they so still? I looked at my parents, but they didn't even glance at the window. To them, the room was empty. I said nothing, but I didn't forget. That night, I went online. I started digging into the school's history, and what I found made my stomach drop. The entire campus had reportedly been built over an old, forgotten cemetery. I went to my parents immediately. I showed them the articles, the threads, the history of the land. They just laughed. My dad called it internet rumors. My mom suggested I was just developing anxiety. In my house, once a decision is made, it's final. I was going, whether I liked it or not. Desperate, I called my best friend Henry. I told him everything. The cemetery rumors, the classroom full of students who shouldn't have been there, and the way my parents were looking at me like I was losing my mind. He went silent for a long time. I could hear his heavy breathing on the other end of the line. Then he whispered, "I know someone, a guy who went there and dropped out. If you want the truth, we need to go see him." When we pulled up to the former student's house, I already felt a heavy weight in the pit of my stomach. The moment we stepped inside, the atmosphere shifted. It was dim, and it smelled like stale air and fear. The boy was sitting on the edge of a sofa, but he wasn't really sitting. He was vibrating. His hands were locked together, shaking uncontrollably. He looked like he hadn't slept in weeks. His eyes were bloodshot, darting to every corner of the room. He didn't act like a normal teenager. He kept checking the windows every few seconds, paranoid, restless, like something was outside waiting. We introduced ourselves and tried to explain why we were there, but he wouldn't even look at us. Until my best friend said it. "My friend here is enrolling. He's starting there next week." The boy froze. The shaking stopped instantly. He slowly lifted his head and looked straight at me. His eyes widened with pure terror, like he was looking at someone already dead.
"Do you have a Bible with you?"
he asked. I said no. He leaned in close. "If you're really going there, you won't survive unless I tell you everything." He spoke of an unfinished building in the woods that everyone avoids. He warned me about flags on the field at night. If you see them moving when there's no wind, don't look. Just keep walking. Then his voice cracked. "Not everyone you see in that school is actually alive." My mind flashed back to the classroom. The silent students. He started sobbing. I lost my best friend there. One night we were together, and the next, he was just gone. No body. Nothing. Before he could continue, his parents burst in. They told us we had to leave, saying he was being sent to a care center for treatment. As they dragged him away, he suddenly broke free and screamed his final warning.
"There's a girl. She's a shapeshifter. She'll look like your classmate, someone you trust. She always wears a long black gown to hide what's underneath. Her body isn't right. Her legs are reversed. She'll be facing you, but her feet, her toes, they'll be pointing the other way."
The door slammed. Silence. We could still hear him shaking the door from inside. the handle rattling violently as he screamed, struggling against them. "Don't trust anyone, even your own parents." His voice echoed until it was dragged away down the hallway. His father turned to us, apologizing. He hasn't been the same since he came back from that school. I stayed frozen for a second, then I finally asked, "What school?" His father hesitated, like he didn't want to say it out loud. Then he said the name. It was the exact same school I was enrolling into. We left in total silence. That night, sleep was impossible, not because of what I saw, but because of what I had just heard. So instead, I went back online. I started digging again, trying to make sense of everything. And I left a comment. "I'm enrolled for next term. Is any of this true? I'm terrified." A little later, a notification popped up, an anonymous direct message. "I saw your comment. I'm starting there next week too. Grade 10. I thought I was the only one who knew about the cemetery. I'm terrified. Can we meet up when we get to campus?" I felt a wave of relief. I wasn't alone. But then, I remembered the boy's voice screaming in my head. "She'll look like a classmate, someone you trust." I stared at the screen. Was this girl my only ally? Or was she the very thing he warned me about? My parents think they're sending me to an elite school to build my future. But as I look at that message glowing in the dark, I realize the truth. They aren't sending me to a school, they're sending me to a graveyard. And in 48 hours, the gates lock behind me. If you want part 2, subscribe to We Tell Horror and ring that bell before it's too late, bell.